GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith, where strategies replace guesswork and readiness replace wishful thinking. With over 4 decades inside government systems, Dr. Lori breaks down what agencies actually evaluate: capacity, compliance, and credibility. If you're ready to compete at the federal level, not just apply, this is where clarity begins.
One of the most painful patterns I watched play out across my career is this. A small business finally wins federal work and then suffers under the weight of it, not because they weren't talented, but because their structure wasn't designed to hold what they've been chasing. Over these last 5 episodes, we built a shared language for readiness. We've assessed, we've built governance, we've gotten honest about where we are, and today I'm going to show you how it all connects into a pathway forward. And I'm going to close this series the way I believe everything should be built, with both strategy and soul. Welcome to GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith. I am the CEO and founder of Elegant LLC and So NRC's Empowerment. This is episode 6, the final episode of series 1, The Readiness Gap. And I'll be honest with you, this is the episode I've been building towards since the beginning, because readiness isn't about one topic or one framework. It's about seeing your business and your leadership as one connected ecosystem and build them both with intention. Let me take a moment to honor where we've been, because every episode brought about something essential to the table. Episode 1 gave us the core truth. Most small businesses aren't unqualified for federal work. They're just understructured. Contracts don't build structure. They reveal whether the structure is there. Episode 2 flipped the lens. We looked at your business the way agencies do and covered the 3 evaluation factors: technical capability, past performance, and price rolled up as responsibility. And not passion, not potential, just evidence. Episode 3, it gave us the readiness gap framework and the 3 pillars of minimal viable readiness: operational backbone, governance spine, and capacity guardrails. You assessed yourself and identified your gaps. In episode 4, we got practical with governance, decision maps, core policies, documentation systems, and review rhythms. Episode 5 drew the line between contract ready and contract curious. It introduced the 4 archetypes, gave you bid, no bid discipline, and laid out the pricing, capacity, and delivery triangle. And that's the foundation you're standing on. So today we build the path forward. Here's what I see happen all the time after someone gains clarity about their gaps. They want to fix everything at once. New policies, new systems, new pipeline strategy, new website, all at the same time. And 3 weeks later, they're overwhelmed and nothing's actually changed. Sound familiar? So that's why I teach readiness as a pathway, not a project. Your readiness pathway is organized around 3 lanes, and you choose one primary lane and one secondary lane for each 90-day cycle. Not everything at once, one lane at a time. Lane 1, your foundational readiness. This covers your operations, financial hygiene, documentation practices, and baseline governance. If your episode 3 self-assessment showed significant gaps in operations or governance, start here. The goal is stabilization, building an infrastructure your business needs to function consistently, even when things get intense. Lane 2, that's capital and contract readiness. This covers your federal marketplace positioning, certifications, pipeline strategy, proposal capability, compliance posture, past performance development. If your foundation is solid, but you lack the specific federal infrastructure to compete, this is your lane. And this is where the work of Elegant lives most directly, building the strategic compliance-centered readiness that agencies actually evaluate. We can't guarantee awards, but we can help you align your structure with what agencies are really looking for when they make those decisions. In lane 3, sustainability and leadership readiness, this lane covers you, your capacity as a leader, your boundaries, your support systems, your relationship with rest. If you're operationally strong but personally running on empty, this is the lane that protects everything else from collapsing. This is where the work of sowing our seeds empowerment becomes essential. Pick one primary lane, one secondary. Work them for 90 days. Then step back, reassess, and adjust. That's how sustainable businesses get built, not through heroic sprints, through disciplined cyclical investment in what matters most. Now, let me explain how my work is organized because it is intentional and it connects directly to the pathway I just described. I built two organizations, not one because readiness isn't one dimensional. Economic readiness and human sustainability are both necessary, but they need different approaches, different spaces, and different kinds of support. Elegant LLC is your economic readiness engine, federal contracting strategy in plain language. We help you understand the regulatory landscape, build compliance infrastructure, and build your eligibility case for programs like the SBA 8A or DOT DBE. And I should note, both of these programs have been substantially restructured. The SBA moved to a race-neutral, fact-specific individual inquiry in early 2026, and DOT eliminated race and sex presumptions for DBE certifications in October 2025. The process for demonstrating this advantage has fundamentally changed. So working with someone who understands the current rules matters more than ever and positions your business to compete credibly. And we offer compliance audits, readiness assessments, the narrative blueprint framework workshops, advisory and strategy sessions. And under Elegant, this podcast, GovCon Clarity, gives you the educational foundation. Our companion series, Sweet Tea with Auntie, covers the same ground in a warmer, more conversational way. Soaring Our Seeds Empowerment Ltd is our sustainability engine. And this is where we focus on the leader behind the business, not generic self-care, structured leadership, development, retreats, and real conversations about what it means to lead while healing, to grow while grieving, and to build while tired. Through Soaring Our Seeds, we offer Reclaim, Reinvent, Rise for women and veterans navigating identity, transition, and leadership fatigue. We offer the Rested Leader, which reframes rest as a strategic leadership practice, not a luxury. And we offer retreats and community experiences designed to restore the human capacity that economic readiness depends on. Now, these are separate but complementary organizations. One focus on the business, economic, and compliance and readiness, and one focus on the leader's sustainability and capacity. Now, here's a principle that holds both engines together, and I want you to really hear this. Economic readiness without sustainability becomes extraction. When you build, you achieve, and you hollow yourself out in the process. Sustainability without economic readiness can become stagnation. You heal and grow personally, but you lack the infrastructure to translate that growth into tangible results. The goal is integration, a business that can win and a leader who can remain whole. But at the same time, now I want to close this series the way I believe readiness should be practiced, with a reflection that leads to a real commitment, not an emotional one, a structured one, the kind you hold yourself to. I'm going to ask you some questions. Journal them, type them into your phone, scribble them on whatever is near you. What matters is that you're honest. Here's a principle that holds both engines together, and I want you to really hear this. Economic readiness without sustainability becomes extraction. You build, you achieve, and you hollow yourself out in the process. Sustainability without economic readiness can become stagnation. You heal and grow personally, but you lack the infrastructure to translate that growth into tangible results. The goal is integration, a business that can win and a leader who can remain whole, both at the same time. Now, I want to close this series the way I believe readiness should be practiced, with a reflection that leads to a real commitment, not an emotional one, a structured one, the kind you can hold yourself to. So, I'm going to ask you some questions. Journal them, type them into your phone, scribble them on whatever's near you. What matters is that you're honest. So, question one, based on your episode 3 of self assessment, which pillar is your most urgent priority? Operations, governance, or capacity? Question two, are you contract ready or contract curious right now? And are you behaving like it? Question three, which archetype from episode 5 hit closest to home? The overextended expert, the overlooked vendor, the resilient veteran, or the strong one? What does that tell you about your next move? Question four, for the next 90 days, which readiness lane would be your primary focus and which will be secondary? Question five, what is one specific measurable thing you are committing to in the next 30 days to close your readiness gap? Not a hope, not a goal, a commitment with a deadline and a deliverable. And question six, and this one matters just as much as all the others, what support do you need that you've been trying to go without? Because readiness is not a solo project, it's a leadership discipline. And leadership disciplines are sustained by community, mentorship, and honest counsel. Take a breath. Let those answers settle. And then make one decision today, not 10. One. One decision that moves you from awareness to action. That's how the readiness gap closes, one intentional decision at a time. This is the end of series 1, but it's the beginning of the work we do together. In our next series, Systems Before Scale, we're going deeper into the operational infrastructure that turns a hustle into an operating system. We'll bring in stories, case studies, and eventually guest voices that model what responsible growth actually looks like. Stay connected. Join the Strategy and Sanctuary newsletter for insights, resources, and honest conversations about readiness and sustainable leadership. Follow me on LinkedIn. And if you know a woman founder or a veteran entrepreneur who's, building under pressure and could use this voice in their corner, send them this series, not just one episode, the whole thing, because the progression matters. Let me leave you with this. Readiness isn't a destination. It's a practice. You don't arrive and stop. You practice it, maintain it, protect it, extend it every time the stakes go up. And the process of building a structure, it doesn't just prepare your business, it prepares you. It sharpens your decision making. It strengthens your instincts. It teaches you to lead with clarity instead of urgency. And it gives you confidence that doesn't come from hoping you're ready. It comes from knowing. Your vision deserves a structure that can hold it. And you deserve to lead without destroying yourself to prove you're serious. Both of those things can be true at the same time. And both of those things should be. So if you're ready for the next step, take the Federal Readiness Assessment or schedule a Clarity Assessment at Archaeology. If you need the sustainability side, Explore what SoarNRC's empowerment offers. These tools and conversations don't replace legal, tax, or accounting advice, but they give you a clear, structured starting point for the discussions you have, with your professional advisors. And if you're not sure, where to start, go back to the self-assessment from episode 3 and the 30-day governance build from episode 4. You can start there and build. I believe in what you're building, and I believe in your capacity, and I believe that readiness practiced with discipline and protected with care is what turns good businesses into lasting ones. This is GovCon Clarity with Dr. Lori Smith. Readiness protects what ambitions pursues, so build what holds the opportunity and what holds you. Until next time, bye-bye for now.